There we are. Hi, soul family, soul tribe. I don't know your faces, your temporary avatar faces, but I feel you. I feel the support, I feel the energy that's been coming through to help me come to my own revelations. So we see I am in front of, can we see that clearly? Sorry guys. It says Church of the Revelation. What the, you see that? So I was here, I came to my own revelations that I've been avoiding. So, because I've been awake, but it's an acknowledgement of my own, of how much, yeah, I'm going to break it down. I can't break it down, so I'm just going to put my version out there, and those of you who are meant to understand will understand. So, I am just coming out of a 2-year-long narcissistic, demon-ridden, mother wound type of relationship. So we're clear. I don't believe I was demon-ridden. I don't think I've ever been. I'm not narcissistic to the best of my knowledge, and we both did have the mother wound. So I saw it in him. None of this was obviously conscious at the time. Not fully. I saw it in him. I saw that wound. And I know how bad it fucking hurts. And all I wanted to do was to fix that wound. I didn't want him to love me back. I didn't need that. I just wanted to fix that wound, that gaping fucking wound. And 2 years, almost now, later, I'm realizing how badly I let myself be that sacrificial lamb in some ways. Beaten down, torn down, used, abused, mistreated. Every concept that we could think of mistreatment went down. And then there was so much more that also went down that I just refused to believe is true. Cognitive dissonance is real, and it will be weaponized against you. If there's something that you just can't tolerate to believe as true, shit keeps coming up, guess what? I just could not believe that this man would actually cheat on me, like literally, like, do to that extent. I just refused to believe that. He did everything else, but I was like, but not that. He wouldn't cross that line. He was always so emphatic about it. Something that I cherish so much, something that he constantly accused me of, which is the furthest thing from my character. He was constantly attacking my integrity and, narcissistic relationships, narcissistic empath. Narcissists in general, they trigger you. They want to trigger your emotions. Because once you're triggered, you're not thinking clearly. Once you're triggered, you're off track. It's all manipulation. It's all deflect. There's something called Darvo, something called fog, fear, obligation, guilt. Either way, I think anyone who's listening to this at this point has a pretty good grasp of what narcissists are like. So, like I said, all different types of fucked up shit was being thrown at me, but I stayed true. I stayed loyal. I loved. And truth be told, just to throw this in, just to clarify, this is very important. Okay? We can demonize anything and anyone. However, I firmly believe that these beings that we fall in love with are soul contracts that we agreed to. These are beings that on some level we love and they love us, and they came here to accomplish a purpose. This full awakening that I'm having, this absolute crushing, this was necessary. This was necessary. It was a wake-up. It was a wake-up call. And it's a shedding of something that was dead a long time ago, that I had not fully taken off, that I did not want to fully take off because I wanted to hold on to that soft part. So to recap, I didn't want to, as much as I understood about what went down, how things progressed towards worse and worse and worse mistreatment, abuse, neglect, lies, and I wouldn't believe certain things. There's no way I could believe that. Guess what? That was definitely a big part of all this, which is, it could be absolutely devastating. But then there's so much more. It's so much fucking worse than anything I would have ever imagined. Literally, like my worst nightmare, whatever that would be, this is it. And I would never have seen that fucking coming from this person. So then I had to ask, being who I am, having the awareness that I have, how did I miss that? How can I miss that level of diabolical scheming, lying, mission? How could I be that blind? And the best conclusion I've come to at this point is that cognitive dissonance is really something. And you know, the more powerful you are, I'm guessing the more powerful your cognitive dissonance. Also, to put this out there, you know, the more powerful you are, the more powerful the enemies that are, I guess, brought against you in some way. And so I say all that, I have to bring that back because I say enemies, and this man, like I said, was demon ridden. This man was associated with beings who were casting spells and, you know, dark magic my way and all kinds of siphoning my energy. And honestly, these things have been going on now that I understand since I was a child. Not this group necessarily, but, you know, things like this. It's, you know, so I don't demonize the narcissist, the warlock. I don't, I mean, not fully. You know, I'm in a state where I really just kind of came to, you know, the divine kind of snapped me up and said, enough with the fucking justifications, with the rose-colored glasses, with the softness, because I have been begging as I sit here processing my pain, my trauma, transmuting this shit into fucking gold. As I'm sitting here, there are parts that I wouldn't touch, and I begged, and I felt weak and ashamed. There were times that I begged, please, not this part too. Please, let me hold on to this piece. Please, don't take that piece away from me. Don't make me feel that. Just let me hold on to this little bit. I begged, and I wouldn't go past that point. And the divine let me. Of course, we're allowed freedom. All right, free will. However, that part that I was refusing to let go of, that pain that I refused to accept, was needed to open the door to see the truth. Did I know that? On some level. I didn't think it'd be that relevant. I didn't think the pain would be, I didn't think anything would be worth that pain. And again, like I said, it's so much worse than I thought. But I'm here for a purpose. If you're watching this, so are you. And time doesn't really, you know, it's not time like human time, but time does matter. It's a purpose. You know, I remember feeling like, all right, it's time to get going. These lessons are here for a reason. I can drag this shit out until whenever, so can you. But I'm feeling a call. I'm feeling like someone else needs this fucking wake-up call that I just had. Someone else needs to feel me out there, putting my energy back into the soul tribe, back into the consciousness. My energy is needed. And so the divine stopped playing with me and said, wake the fuck up. So I'm saying this to you. Wherever you are, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be so much fucking better than okay. But as bad as it is, and I think some of you may know this, as horrendous as some things may seem, they're just as good on the other side. However, much like disappointment I was trying to avoid was so much worse than I ever could have imagined. The realization of awakening is so much greater than anything you could have ever imagined. And I say that as I'm still shrugging off the old skin.